Timothy. I was named after him. He was a medic in World War I. I don't know who he was named after. Dear Tim and Moby, why was World War I called the Great War? From Abby. No, it wasn't a fun time. People called it the Great War because World War I was bigger than any war that came before it. A lot of new military technology like airplanes, submarines, machine guns, heavy artillery, and even poison gas were used during World War I. This new technology made for a lot of casualties. 9 million soldiers died, and 23 million more were wounded. Well, it all started on June 28, 1914, when a Serbian man assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Ferdinand was in line to be king of Austria-Hungary, a powerful empire in the center of Europe. A month after the assassination, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. It's complicated. Before World War I, there was a lot of tension brewing in Europe. Different countries were competing for land and power. It was really just a matter of time before war broke out. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, all the other countries started choosing sides. Russia had an alliance with Serbia, so it joined the war. An alliance is an agreement between two or more countries to help each other out. Europe had so many alliances going on that what began as a conflict between two countries became a huge war between many. On one side, the Allied powers included Serbia, France, Belgium, Russia, and Great Britain. On the other side, the Central Powers were Austria-Hungary, Germany, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire. Most of the fighting took place in Belgium and France, with the German army doing most of the work for the Central Powers. Up-close fighting in trenches called trench warfare was a big part of World War I. Battles raged on without either side gaining an inch. The Battle of the Somme in 1916 lasted for months. Some 300,000 soldiers died, and about 1 million more were injured, and the Allies gained less than 10 kilometers of land. Woodrow Wilson, the American president, tried to keep the U.S. out of the war. Along with many Americans, he saw this as a European conflict and wanted nothing to do with it. But two major events forced him to enter the war. On May 7, 1915, a German submarine sank a British ocean liner called the Lusitania, and 128 American civilians died. In February of 1917, the Zimmermann telegram was discovered. The German government was asking Mexico to join the war. In return, Germany would help Mexico take a bunch of southwestern states back from the United States. Also, an internal revolution caused Russia to pull out of the war in 1917, making the Allied forces desperate for help. The U.S. entered the war on the side of the Allies in April of 1917. Congress passed the Selective Service Act, saying that all men between the ages of 21 and 31 had to sign up for military service. The U.S. drafted 3 million people. That included 350,000 African Americans. Most American soldiers fought in France. With the help of America, the Allies started winning. Big battles like the Argonne and the Second Battle of the Marne pushed the German armies back. On November 11, 1918, the Germans agreed to an armistice, or ceasefire. The Treaty of Versailles made Germany accept blame for the war and pay the Allies $33 billion in war reparations. President Wilson argued for less harsh measures in his famous 14-point plan for peace, but he was overruled. Many historians believe that the Treaty of Versailles was partly to blame for World War II 20 years later. Please don't do that.